Same thing with like the flax seeds. The fresher you get it, the more you cook it, the faster it's going to break down. So garlic and onions, again, it's tougher to eat them raw, but you're going to get more benefit from them. Still get benefit if you eat them cooked, but the biggest benefit is going to be when you're eating them raw.
What if garlic does not agree with you? I mean, I can tell if there's garlic in anything because I'm burping all the time.
So garlic, a powerful detoxification agent. So if you're having trouble eating garlic, a lot of times what it means is you're very toxic in something. So as it starts to detoxify your body, you're gonna be burping out some of those toxins. I used to think that I was allergic to garlic, and every time I would eat garlic, I got sick. But it turned out it was the wheat that was in the spaghetti that I was eating that was causing me to get sick, and not the garlic. Because when I quit eating the wheat, I know I can eat garlic and it doesn't cause any problems. So the garlic will detoxify your body and it'll kick out some of the stuff. So it might make you feel sick, but what's happening is that those toxins are making you feel sick.
How much do you eat at a time? Just one little bud?
Yeah, it's supposed to be just like a clove.
Just pop it in and chew it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the best route. I know that they sell. I know that they sell garlic. What are they called? Like garlic capsules or something like that. So you don't have to.
Is that suffice?
Yeah, I mean that's an
compared to
option.
that?
That's an option. And again, you know, there's pluses and minuses to it. Obviously, the smell is the biggest minus, and the taste sometimes is a negative. But if you can cook with it, and you can sneak it into some of the foods like spaghetti sauce or some of the other foods that you can cook with, sometimes it makes a big difference.
Your handout says that garlic pills are virtually worthless.
Some of them are, yeah. Some of the garlic ones, it kind of depends on how they process it. So, there's no regulating industry on supplements. So you can basically take a Tic Tac and market it as a multivitamin, and there's not going to be a whole lot of people that are going to call you on it. So same thing with the garlic powder. If you dehydrate it and cook it, you're killing off almost all the good stuff that's in there. So that's some of the issues with the garlic supplements. There's no regulated industry on them. So here's a couple things that almost made the list. Salmon, again, that's loaded with omega-3. Which is going to be good for your brain, it's good for your heart. Fish oil supplement is a better option because there's no contamination. Unfortunately, almost all the fish is contaminated now, so we can only eat a limited quantity of it. So salmon is really good, but a better option may be a fish oil supplement. And unfortunately, it's contaminated. So farm fish is worse than fresh fish. There's more contamination there. Turmeric, this is in curry or Indian food if you cook with that. So this is one of the newest things that's come out. There's tons of research coming out on this every day. One of the ingredients in turmeric is curcumin, and this is a spice. It's not really a food, but very, very good at detoxifying the body, very good at destroying cancers. So the more they're looking at this turmeric and the curcumin in there, they're finding tons of benefits for autoimmune diseases, ton of benefit for brain degenerative diseases, because it's a powerful antioxidant, powerful detoxification agent, powerful at getting rid of cancers. And then there's some of these exotic tropical fruits. So these are going to be like a lot of these drinks that you hear about, like drink the noni juice or drink the all the yep. So there's lots of different juices that make their living on selling these tropical fruit juices, and they taste good. But the problem is, they're not local. So again, we have to look at how much is being lost from the not being local and processed. B, they're expensive. So if you look at pluses to minuses, the cost is usually going to far exceed the benefit that you're going to get from that. I mean, there's benefits to it, but it's very expensive, and if you can get some of the local foods that are going to give you the same benefits for less money, to me that seems to be a benefit. And so they are over-marketed. So that's the trouble with them. If you can't find it locally, there's a good chance you probably don't need it. You can find something that's local that you're going to get some of the same benefits from. But they do have benefits because they're loaded full of antioxidants. And some of these, like the acai or the mangosteen or the pomegranate, loaded full of antioxidants, tons of antioxidants. So tons of benefits. But we kind of have to weigh the pluses versus the minuses. Lots of minerals and lots of vitamins. And here's two that lots of people voted for. So these are probably the most voted for ones: wine and chocolate. So I'm sure everybody's heard wine is good for you. Everybody's heard chocolate is good for you. Wine, we want to drink the dark red wine. Whether you like that or not, that's the kind that's going to have the best benefit. The darker the color means there's more resveratrol in there, which is the good ingredient, not necessarily the alcohol. So a little bit is going to be okay, like a glass with dinner, 1 glass, an 8-ounce glass, not a mug like this. I saw a funny picture. One lady, she had a mug that was this big, and she was having 1 glass of wine a day. Same thing with chocolate. We want the dark chocolate, the one that has a lot of cocoa in it, the like 70% dark chocolate, versus like a Hershey's bar. Hershey's bar is mostly sugar and soy, and so that doesn't really have the same benefits as the dark chocolate. So big doses of these things are problems. Studies have shown benefits for the heart in smaller doses, so a little bit of benefit if you have a little bit of it. But don't start drinking wine just to get the benefits of the heart. A little bit is okay. The resveratrol is better. So here's a couple things that didn't make the list. These are kind of on our bad boy list. Soy, it's on a lot of health food lists. If you just look on the internet, soy is real high on a lot of lists. The trouble with soy is very damaging to your pancreas, very damaging to your thyroid, very damaging to the intestinal tract. So you go to some of the health food stores, you'll see a lot of the diet bars have soy in them because there's soy protein. Protein is supposed to be good to curb the hunger. A lot of the weight loss places use soy. The trouble with the soy, though, is now it's damaging your thyroid, which is going to slowly make you gain weight as the thyroid function decreases, and it starts to damage the digestive tract. So unfortunately, a lot of people that are on soy protein eventually have to get off of it because it's causing so much gas and bloating and troubles with the thyroid. Dairy, a lot of people in other countries, like Africa, they can't even digest the dairy because the lactose. So we've heard of lactose intolerant. The bigger problem with dairy is as you cook it, as you kill off the bad stuff in there, you kill off a lot of the good ingredients. So then when you buy the milk, they add some of the other ingredients back in. But the protein that's in there, called casein, when you heat that up, it damages the protein a little bit, and so your body treats that like it's a foreign substance, a foreign protein, a virus or a bacteria, and so it starts to react to that. So if you drink milk, you're going to get, anybody notice the phlegm that you get in the back of your throat if you drink some milk or have some ice cream? That's your body reacting to the milk, and that phlegm isn't just in your throat, that's throughout the body. And so it's that autoimmune response, the immune response to the protein that's in the dairy. So if you could drink raw milk, you wouldn't have technically the same problems. But you can't drink raw milk in Minnesota. You can't buy it because it's illegal to sell it. So, yeah, the milk is in trouble. Dairy, any kind of dairy, you're going to have the protein that's in there. Grain is on a lot of lists as being very good. It's the outside part of the grain that's good. As we start to break down the whole grains and process them more, they become less good because we start to remove the good stuff from them, and grain becomes very inflammatory. The more processed it is, the more inflammatory it is. So you start to get problems with joints, and it messes with the pH balance. It's very acidic. So if you have arthritis, grain is a bad thing for you. It creates acid in your body, and you're going to have to pull calcium out of the joint, out of the bones to balance out the calcium.
Is there any kind of grains that are better than others?
Whole grains are better than others. So sprouted wheat is supposed to be better. The less processed it is, the better it is for you. It's a very hard thing to pull out of the diet because it's very popular in this part of the world, especially in Minnesota. Artificial colors and flavor enhancers. So we got some food dyes here. These things are very toxic to your nervous system. So definitely something you want to try to avoid. So we're just going to skip over a couple slides here. So other than the foods that we talked about, exercise or oxygen is probably the most important ingredient to the body. So we put foods in the body. Oxygen is the most important food there, or nutrient that we're going to put in our body. So that comes down to exercise.